The drama surrounding Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns has escalated into one of the most fascinating quarterback sagas in recent memory, a story that feels less like an NFL depth chart decision and more like a cultural battle being fought under stadium lights. This isn't just about football anymore. It's about power, perception, and the ways in which a rookie quarterback with ice-cold composure has already shifted the axis of an entire franchise before he's even started a regular season game. At the center of it all is Shedeur Sanders, a fifth-round rookie who was never supposed to be more than a developmental project, a body for the quarterback room, another name in the long history of Cleveland signal callers who fade in and out of training camp storylines. But the moment Sanders stepped onto an NFL field for his preseason debut, all of those expectations were obliterated in real time. His poise, his accuracy, his command of the huddle, every throw he made seemed to whisper a different truth. That he wasn't just ready, he belonged. And if that wasn't enough, Nike made sure no one could miss the point. Almost overnight, the rookie quarterback went from intriguing prospect to the centerpiece of a global marketing campaign. A contract extension with Nike wasn't simply a brand deal, it was a declaration of war on the old order. Nike didn't just sign Shedeur Sanders, they doubled down on the belief that he could be the face of an era, and in doing so, they made him more than a player. They made him a commodity, an asset too valuable to be tucked away on the bench, while the Browns clung to tradition and patience. The impact was immediate. Suddenly, every conversation surrounding the Browns wasn't about schemes, depth charts, or preseason wins. It was about Sanders. Fans weren't just dissecting completions and progressions. They were replaying the wrist flick, that subtle flash of swagger after a touchdown pass that went viral within minutes. They were sharing highlight edits set to hip-hop tracks, turning Shedeur into a cultural moment before the playbook had even been fully open to him. And when Nike moved swiftly to lock in that extended deal, it wasn't just business, it was a signal flare. Inside the Browns building, everything changed. Kevin Stefanski could continue preaching patience and development, but everyone in the room knew a different clock had begun ticking. Nike didn't pour millions into Sanders for him to carry a clipboard. They weren't betting on some distant future. They were betting on right now. That tension between a franchise trying to control its rookie and a global brand trying to unleash him is the fault line beneath this entire saga. And like all fault lines, it's only a matter of time before it cracks. Sanders' first snaps in the preseason told you everything. When the pocket collapsed, he didn't panic. He slid right, reset, and delivered a strike to the sideline. When the moment demanded confidence, he gave it with nothing more than a flick of the wrist. Those small acts of control, those subtle signs of composure carried weight far beyond the scoreboard. Opposing defenses felt it, teammates felt it, and most importantly, the fans felt it. It wasn't just about numbers, it was about aura. And Nike understood that better than anyone, but aura comes with a price. For Dillon Gabriel, the other quarterback fighting for the Browns' starting role, Sanders' rise has cast a shadow that feels impossible to escape. Every shaky throw, every missed read, every interception now echoes louder because of the figure waiting just behind him. Gabriel is no longer competing just against another quarterback. He's competing against a movement, a brand, and a fan base that seems to already know who they want. For him, it's not just competition, it's psychological warfare. And that's where the danger lies for Cleveland. If they choose Gabriel and he struggles, the crowd will turn instantly, demanding Sanders. If they choose Sanders and he falters, critics will pounce on the franchise for letting marketing dictate football. It's a no-win scenario for management, a nightmare disguised as opportunity. But the truth is, Sanders' talent makes the decision simpler than the front office wants to admit. You don't extend a rookie with a global brand deal if you think he's destined for the sidelines. Nike's role in this saga makes traditionalists uneasy, but it reflects the reality of modern football. In 2025, it isn't enough to be talented. You have to be marketable. You have to create moments that live on TikTok, clips that explode across Twitter, highlights that become cultural currency. Sanders doesn't just play football, he creates content. He generates conversations. He makes people care. And that, more than any endorsement figure, is what makes him a franchise-altering presence. Old school executives will scoff, dismissing it as hype. They'll argue that rookies need time, that you can't rush development. But what if this isn't about rushing? What if Sanders is already ahead of the curve? His preseason reads, his composure and chaos, his timing, all of it suggested a player who wasn't surviving but thriving. And the fact that he's doing it while handling the crushing weight of expectation only underscores the point. Inside the locker room, you can already sense the quiet fracture forming. Some veterans are buying into Stefanski's system, repeating the mantra of earning it. Others, especially receivers who've worked with Sanders, are whispering about his accuracy, his timing, the way he makes them feel like every route could matter. These aren't loud divisions yet, they're subtle. Glances during practice, extra reps after drills, hushed conversations in the weight room. But fractures have a way of growing when results don't follow. Meanwhile, Sanders himself has remained silent. No cryptic tweets, no passive-aggressive interviews, no public frustration, just preparation, film sessions, extra reps, a calm exterior that drives his critics insane because it suggests he isn't rattled. That steadiness is exactly why Nike doubled down, why fans are chanting his name, why analysts from Shannon Sharp to podcast pundits are demanding to see him start. The contrast between his composure and Gabriel's struggles is becoming impossible to ignore, and that's where this story sharpens into controversy. Reports from camp paint an ugly picture for Gabriel: missed throws, poor completion percentages, practices where he looks lost. Sanders, meanwhile, continues to maximize every rep, even when buried with third stringers. He's delivering sharper execution with fewer resources. Imagine what he could do with the starters, with plays designed around his strengths. Fans are imagining it. Analysts are imagining it, and every week he isn't given the chance feels less like caution and more like negligence. The whispers around the league aren't kind. Some say the Browns are protecting Gabriel because of draft optics, pride, or bias. Others hint at something deeper, that Sanders is being held back for reasons that have little to do with football, when terms like bias and even racism start. Entering the conversation, whether fair or not, it adds gasoline to a fire that was already burning. Cleveland finds itself under a microscope, with every decision scrutinized not just as a football call, but as a cultural statement, and the risk is enormous. If Sanders keeps proving himself in practice, if the fans keep clamoring, and if the Browns continue resisting, the outcome could be catastrophic, because other teams are watching. The Rams, the Raiders, even the Cowboys have been linked in whispers, intrigued by his blend of talent and marketability. The nightmare scenario for Cleveland isn't just losing games with Gabriel, it's losing Sanders altogether, watching him thrive in another city while they're left, explaining how they fumbled the best chance they've had in decades to stabilize. The quarterback position. This isn't the slow burn quarterback controversies of the past. This one has exploded in real time, from preseason debut to Nike extension to national debate in just 2 weeks. Sanders has become bigger than the franchise faster than anyone could have anticipated, and that's the real dilemma, because once a player becomes bigger than the team, you can no longer contain him. You either embrace it or get consumed by it. The drama surrounding Shedeur Sanders has become something more than football. It's about narrative, it's about fairness. It's about a rookie quarterback who carries himself like a veteran, who's already turning every snap into a cultural moment. Cleveland is sitting on a powder keg, and the decision they make in the coming weeks won't just shape their season, it could define the next decade of the franchise. And so the question remains, will the Browns hand the keys to a quarterback who's already proving he belongs, or will they cling to caution until it's too late? One way or another, this saga is reaching its breaking point. The fans are waiting, the league is watching, and Shedeur Sanders, calm as ever, is ready whenever the moment arrives. Because the truth is simple, he's not just here to play, he's here to take over. If you're fascinated by the chaos surrounding Sanders, if you want to follow this quarterback controversy as it unfolds in real time, make sure to subscribe, drop a comment, and let me know, should Shedeur Sanders start now? Or do the Browns need to wait? Because one thing's for sure, this story is only just beginning.